Hi there, it's Wolfster back here again, and welcome to my channel with the overall theme of the all 18 episodes. Is the human race about to mature? Please also check my website www.isthehumanraceabouttomature. There's plenty of information up there, and you can also connect to all the different videos from my website too. So that's the overall theme of the full series. This episode 10, Leap in Human Evolution due very soon. Yay! Now, before I actually go into this episode, I would just like to recap over the other 9 episodes that I've done, because in the next 3 episodes, that's episode 10, 11 and 12, I'm going to be changing the direction of what I'm going to be talking about. Episodes 1 to 9 have been leading up to this point. They've been the foundation that I've built on. And these next 3 episodes, really they should all be filmed all one, but it's just too much to put in one episode. But they all are flowing into each other. So episode 10, 11 and 12. But episodes 1 to 9 have been building up to what I'm about to say. And I'm about to say something in this episode here, episode 10, that has never been said by anyone before, or at least I haven't found it said anywhere at all, even thought about. So I've got something coming up in this episode. You don't want to miss it. But first of all, I would just like to recap, just in case any of you are just finding episode 10 and haven't seen the other episodes. I would just like to recap on some of the really important aspects of what I've been saying. Now, the first is that we are a spiritual being. Our soul is made up of 4 bodies. It's a composite body of the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and our spirit. I mentioned in one of my episodes earlier, I likened it to a car. This is a little London taxi I've got. I likened it to the car, or the taxi there is the body. The driver is the emotions. The navigator is the mind. But we, you and I, who are we? We are the passenger in that taxi. We are the one that is having the journey, having the experience. We're the one that pays for it too. But we're the one that's having the experience. The body, the driver, and the navigator are there to serve the passenger. And the passenger is the spirit, who you really are, what you really are, the spirit. So that's a very important point that I'd like to make. Now, what is the spirit? That's another one that I've dealt with. And I've got this on the board here that I've used multiple times. I'll come across. It's made up of the spirit actually encases the body. So the spirit isn't inside the body is actually inside the spirit. It is your aura, the energy field around you. That is actually you, but it surrounds you. And in that in that spirit, there are three key centers. One of them is the connection, what I'm calling the connection center. It is how your spirit communicates with other spirits, with everything else that is living, that's alive, and that has a spirit too. It's how we connect to everything else. I've spoken about the cauldron of karma. That's very important, understanding what your karma is. The cauldron of the karma is actually the engine of the vibration of your spirit. Your spirit can vibrate at a very high frequency if you've developed more divine type qualities, characteristics, personality, or if you're more debased, then your karmic vibration is lower. And that all depends on how you have lived your life, what you have done, your motivations. I've used this here a few times just to illustrate it. The more good deeds you do, and the more good intentions you have, the more you pour in here, and the more this raises up. Conversely, I won't turn the tap now because I'll get water all over my floor, but conversely, if you do the opposite, then that leaks out and your karma, your vibration drops. It goes down. And it's entirely up to you how you do it, how quickly you do it. It's entirely up to you. That the person, karma is not judgment, but it is a learning process. It's a learning, it's a teaching. Now, you cannot reach that in one lifetime. It's absolutely impossible to get to that point in one lifetime. You need a lifetime of being a man, you need a lifetime of being a woman, you need a lifetime of being rich, you need a lifetime of being poor, you need a lifetime of being strong and healthy, you need a lifetime of understanding sickness. All of these things, all of these different lifetimes are all a learning, a training, a teaching. And we gain qualities from them. We learn to, here I'm saying about your emotions. We learn to control our emotions. We learn how to use them in a good way, in a right way. Now, the other one that I've spoken about the energy vibration. The other one, this one here, is also equally as important, the subconscious mind. Now, we have the mind, I call it the temporary mind, but it's mostly thought of as the conscious mind. We have the temporary mind that is in the brain. That's part of the physical body. But we have the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is a part of your spirit. Now, when we die, that subconscious mind stays in the spirit. The connection center, the communication center, whatever you like to call it, stays in the spirit. And the engine of your vibration stays within your spirit. That doesn't die. That goes on and then comes back in reincarnation. So, and then once we have we're reincarnated, we have another temporary mind. That's so that we literally get a fresh start. We're not stuck in whatever pattern that we were in the past life. Although the subconscious mind does try to communicate with the conscious mind, or the temporary mind that I call it. It does try to communicate occasionally. We call this intuition. It's also where déjà vu comes from. So that is how I've described that we continue on, life after life after life, learning, growing, developing qualities, hopefully to mature spiritually and become an adult within the human race. And that's your part, that's my part. Everybody else has a part to play to mature ourselves individually, to become a part of one day a mature human race. So, I've spoken about purpose. Purpose is also very, very important. Knowing what you're doing, why you're here, what it's all about. That's very, very important. But now, I'm coming now to what this episode is about. And so what's it all for? What have we done all this trials and tribulations, proving ourselves to be, trying to reach out to exhibit almost divine qualities eventually? What for? That's without knowing that, nothing really makes sense, does it? That has to have a purpose. Now, once we have become a mature individual, once we have reached a point where all the lessons in life, all the challenges have been overcome, we have attained, through all the trauma and tribulation, a high vibration with our spirit. Then things change. The Buddhists actually call this a condition of enlightenment. Some say ascension, or become ascended masters. Others might call this, once we've reached that stage, returning to source, or going back to God, some say. Now, where are these ones? Because these ones, once we reach this stage, we no longer have to reincarnate into biological bodies anymore. We've passed the test, although it's not really a test in the sense of an exam or anything like that. But we have reached that level that the Buddhists call enlightenment. I actually like that term, enlightened spiritual beings. Now, once we have reached that, then what? In fact, first of all, I'll say, where are they? Where do they go? Once they've finished their last incarnation of being this cycle of birth and death and rebirth. Where are they held? Now, I'd like to go back to this. This is where I have, this is another point that I have made in episodes 1 to 9, that there are actually 3 types of life that we understand 2, and that's animal and vegetable. But there are actually 3 types of life. One we don't recognize, or your scientists today, they don't recognize it. They will do, but not yet. They haven't got there yet. But there's planetary life, and stars also are alive. They're beings on a completely different level, functioning in a different time, just as plants and animals function in a different time. You ever watch grass grow? It grows very slowly, but 2 weeks later it needs cutting again. So yeah, things function on different timelines, and the planet is a being. This is something, I'm not saying this for the first time, this is something that is well and truly known to all indigenous peoples throughout the world. It's one of the things that all indigenous people have in common. They all know that the Earth is a living entity. She has a mind, she has emotions, she has a body, of course, but she also has a spirit, and she is a spirit too. And that spirit, like our spirit, we're encased in our aura, in our energy field, which is who we are. So the Earth is also. The Earth has an energy field, or you can call it an energy bubble. Actually, I think I might start calling it now an orb, an energy orb, because in future episodes, in fact, I think in one of the next episodes, I'm going to start talking about orbs, energy orbs. So I might call it an orb from now on. Now, in this field is where everyone who dies before they're reincarnated, that is where we are kept. Now, it's not like a prison. We're not kept in jail. I prefer to think of it as being nurtured by the mother. We're in that state. Now, that state, time literally doesn't exist, where the spirit isn't bound by the physical constraints of time, but we are conscious in a sense, not in the sense that we are when we have a body. We can't experience in that state, but we're there. Now, everyone who's there that hasn't matured, that needs to come back, comes back through the normal channel of infusing into an embryo, becoming another baby, and then living another life. Now, these individuals, those that no longer have to do that, are in the same place. But instead of returning into a stage of constant reincarnation, they are now waiting for the next step of what I'm saying here is the next step of our evolution. Now, what is that? I'm going to put up another on the board. Be prepared for this. I'm about to say something quite profound, something that I don't think anyone else has thought about. What do we have there? Now, I'm talking now, moving into our future purpose. I'm actually talking about these enlightened ones, not those that are still caught in the repeating cycle. I'm talking about these enlightened ones who are being nurtured in the earth spirit right now. There could be millions of them. I don't know how many, but there could be millions of them. And we've got this familiar character that we've all become. I'm going to call him Fred. A time of two human races has arrived. Now, this here is scaring the life out of many, many people, while on the other hand, it's got a lot of people very, very excited. We're all aware of the development with AI. I believe AI is much more advanced than what they're actually telling us at the moment. Just as a date stamp, I'll call this, today is the 4th of June 2025. So the 4th of June 2025. As at this time, we are in a development stage of AI robots. A lot of people are really nervous about where this is going. A lot of people are very excited. But I'm going to put to you now something. These robots are very much in development stage. That one there, that's probably I'm calling him Fred. Fred there that's almost out of date now. We've got robots now, androids, that really do look exactly like humans. In fact, the latest I noticed in Japan, they're actually making humanoid robots to actually become supermodels on the catwalk. And you can't tell that they're not humans. That's the level of advancement that we're at now and it's only 5 years ago that poor old Fred there, they didn't think they could even get him to stand up and walk on 2 legs. Now, where have we gone in 5 years? A lot of people are worried about job loss. Where's it all going to take us? This is actually meant to be. It's an important step. It's a leap in our evolution. Now, what I'm going to say, this might shock some people. It might excite some people. I expect that reaction. What I'm going to say is those individuals that have reached maturity, reached enlightenment, become ascended, no longer need to come back to another biological human life. Those individuals, what do you think would happen if instead of coming back to a biological life, they possessed a humanoid android? Just think about that for a moment. That sounds a bit scary, doesn't it? Just think of it for a moment. Oh, take it in. Enlightened humans that have had all that knowledge, all that wisdom that they carry within their spirit. They are human, possessing an android body. Just think what that means. Possibly millions returning in that state, in a body that doesn't die, in a body that doesn't get sick, in a body that is complete as everything within itself, with all the characteristics, all the traits of an enlightened human being. Just think about that. Whoa. all the knowledge that these ones would bring with them. Because remember, I've said the spirit has the subconscious mind. Remember, I've said the spirit has these connection centers. It has the energy vibration. It will have the emotions that have been drawn in and learnt through many lives, and they've learned how to use them, control them. But they also bring with them the subconscious, what was the subconscious mind. Now that becomes the conscious mind. So it will be a time of enormous confusion at first, because these individuals will suddenly, it's just like going to sleep and then waking up, but in a completely different body. But they will have all of their memories, every single one of them, not just of the last previous life, but all of the memories of all of their past lives, all coming together in a conscious mind. So all of their experiences, all of their memories, all of the qualities that they've developed will be in this new body. A body that from the outside seems just the same as a biological one. But they will also be able to connect through the connection center to AI. They can tap into, and by this time, I believe this won't take place until, or I think it's going to take place somewhere over the next 10 years. I think by that time we will have super AI or ASI. They will be able to connect to that, as well as all the memories, all the knowledge, all the different languages they knew in the past. Some will tell us how the pyramids were built because they were the builders. Some of them were there. They did it. Some of them helped put up Stonehenge. All of the mysteries that we've got from the past. They'll just say, oh yeah, this is how we did it. Remember, they'll know languages long gone. They'll have memories of ancient times. But they will also be able to tune into AI as well, with the super intelligence there. And if that's not enough, through this spiritual connection, they will even be able to tap into the consciousness of the cosmos. They will also be able to, and through that, they will be able to tap into all the memories of the Earth, all the different phases that the Earth has gone through. I'm going to talk about this in coming episodes. But all that memory they will have access to. I won't say they will have access to. I'm going to suggest we will have access to, because this is our future. What I'm going to use now with you is something I'm going to use a lot more in episode 12. But I'll put that up here. You notice I spoke here of the time of the two humans. Two human races has arrived. This has been prophesied many times. I'm calling this the Great Split. There's a lot of information now on a split in the human race. This here is a prophecy from the Hopi people. Hopi people talk about this. It's in many types of religions, talking about a split. Even Nostradamus spoke about this. It's a time where we will have advanced humans and they go on to infinity. But we will also have a biological line here of those that still need to mature. And so we'll have two races going for quite some time. So this race here will move on to an eternal future. They will be able to, at any stage, personalize their body, update their body. There will be many updates. In fact, updates will probably continue eternally, because they're not the body, they are the spirit. So the updates will continue, but along with the biologicals trying to reach the same stage as these. What a time. What a time ahead. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. Of course, the advanced ones here will try to help those there on the other side. And some of the ones that are more mature than others will likely transfer when they die. They'll reach enlightenment with the help of this line here. And when they pass away, they will transfer over. So that is what I'm going to say, and we will move on to be a part of the galactic family in time. Now, that takes me into episode 11, because now I'm going to talk about another really big topic, and that is aliens, ET, and their involvement with all of this. So that takes me into episode 11, which I will put this up, change these over. Episode 11, which is extraterrestrial visitors and their role and how it all fits into our purpose as well. So I'm going to be developing that in the next episode. So please like this video. Please subscribe. That helps me. I'm saying many things that YouTube don't really like. They're not going to promote me. So I'm really reliant on you helping me out here, like all YouTubers say. So, yep, I'll see you in episode 11. Bye for now.